Welcome. So, I went down a little rabbit hole the other day and found these. I have never seen them, and if the sales clerk wasn't so good and hadn't gone into the back and got the deck and went through every single card with me because he was also obsessed with them, I wouldn't have got them. Because I kind of thought they were lame. I'm like, just because I like smoking weed, it doesn't mean that everything I do has to be incorporated with it. But let me tell you, this woman, Peggy White, that did this deck, is a fucking genius. Like, she put so much time and effort into these cards. They look effortless because some things are like that. Some things just fit. They just work. And you don't have to try hard. And then you feel like, well, I should have tried harder because that felt effortless. But some things, they just work. Because when they're supposed to grow, they do. Right? So I've realized that this deck, which I was not anticipating on getting, I realized it has its own little purpose, okay? Which most decks do, right? The Godfather Tarot brings up family issues. And what happened with Vito and the Cornell family, or Cornell family? Well, what happened to the Cornell family? Let's be real, right? Corleone family, right? It's like, and then Hush Tarot, that's really hush. That seems to be the things that people do not want to talk about. Embracing life, right? It's like every deck has their own, and now I'm going to use this Pocket Oracle just for sit and blaze, or just for straight answers. Like, decks are designed to do things, and what I've learned very quickly with these cards is they are romantic cards, okay? Not romantic in a sense romantic, but they seem to be talking about camaraderie between people. And that's what weed does. That's the thing, is like, you smoke a joint with somebody, it's like you are sword fighting at the end of the night or at the end of the shift, you know, like you become best friends with people when you smoke weed with them. Or you realize you're the exact opposite, you gotta get the fuck out of there, right? So, these cards, they're just relationships, okay? That's all I can say, because relationships, they grow a lot like plants, right? They grow or they die. Just depends, right? What the plant wants. A human cannot force a plant to do something. Eventually, the plant will turn. And watch M. Night Shyamalan's Vanished, okay? Where the plants kill all the people. And then, actually, my brother-in-law, back in the day, ex-brother-in-law, used to grow marijuana. And he eventually only had males working for him, and he had fucked over every female around him, that all the females turned male on him in a room, and he lost about 600 plants overnight, because that's what males do. You can't have males near females because they pollinate the females and turn them into males. So you have to be very, people who grow pot have to be very careful, okay? They get bugs, they get infections, they get mold, they get things that kill them, they get things that turn them, right? I once accidentally had the lights turned off for too long, just before they went from veg, which is they have nonstop light, to 24 hours on, 24 hours off. So I was in that switch period, so I put them in the dark. I turned those lights on. Oh my God, you should have saw those plants stand up. Like, in a matter of seconds, these things went from down because I forgot, right? So they were gonna die, to standing just like, I am here for the light, okay? And yeah, weed plants, oof, plants are alive, okay? Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is why we do what we do, right? Look at this. Queen of Bongs, which is the Queen of Cups, meets the Emperor. I can't make this up if I tried. This is what they want to do. They want to bring people together. So I'm like, I'm not going to use them for clarifying cards. I'm not going to use them for I fucking hate you cards. This is for bringing people together, okay? Because that's what weed does. And I can't stress it enough that that's what weed does. So actually, oh my gosh, these are fucking adorable. Look at these two people. Okay, so what I can see is the Queen of Bongs, okay? The Queen of Bongs is the fire, Okay, the Queen of Bongs learns that she has to incorporate fire only when it is necessary, only when lighting a dart or a cigarette. Or a marijuana stick, okay? Or a bong, okay? Or a pipe. You don't just flick your lighter for no reason because weed will catch on fire, right? So you need to know exactly when you want to light your pipe, okay? You don't just hold the fire there. You're probably gonna lose your eyebrows. That's happened to me before. Or your nose hairs. Or if you're a man, your entire beard. You can't just hold a lighter there. You've got to inhale and take that shit in, okay? So, a Queen of Bongs learns the perfect timing of fire, okay? And she's got with her the 3 of Bongs and the 9 of Bongs. So she has the 3 of Cups and the 9 of Cups with her. So she is indulgent in life, okay? Which is kind of what the 10 of Bongs is about. There's bongs as far as the eye can see. Okay, there's weed in them, there's weed around them, there's weed to be smoked, and guess who's got the lighter? Oh, she does. Okay, so this queen is kick ass, okay? And then she's also got the 3 of Bongs, which is the 3 of Cups. So she's got friendship on her side. She's got people with her. She has like a unit, okay? Whereas this Emperor, I think, is alone, okay? So this Queen of Cups she's a Queen of Cups for a reason. That's the thing. She's a Queen of Bongs for a reason, right? She's earned that title. She's loving, she's caring, and she knows when to light, right? And when to spark, and when to let the weed grow around her. Now, we step into this Emperor. Sativa. So, this Emperor, I just heard ADHD. They might be really high strung. Right? Sativa is not the strain you want to smoke when you want to go and lay down. Okay? It's the weed that you smoke when you're going to go and do something. You're going to go on an adventure. Okay? Because it's the fucking greatest. That's what it's there for. Okay? So, Emperor, tell me. And you know what's funny? Is these people, look at this. He's got the 8 of Buds, which is the 8 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Buds, which is the 3 of Pentacles. These people completely match their surroundings. Like, he is exactly who he appears to be. Exactly. Like, he's ready. Like, these buds are just, like, see how she's got those scissors? So she's taking off those buds so then they can dry and be smoked. He's dried and can be smoked, right? I wouldn't even trim them. I would just leave them with leaves sticking out like that. Because when weed, you know what I found? Like, okay, so you go to these dispensaries and you get this nice looking weed, right? But then it just, like, for the most part, just tastes like flavor that they've just sprayed on weed. It doesn't even taste like weed. And it's all chopped up and you're spending, $200-300 on an ounce, and you're like, and then you go to Buddy's house across the street that's got weed that looks like this, and you're like fucking out cold in a half an hour, right? So it's like, all that glitters isn't gold. And people who smoke weed know that, right? Because we look at these fancy ass cars and people, and like, man, I don't even judge anymore. I'm just like, that's just not me, right? Like, I'm actually looking at getting a car from 1988. And the thing is that it's such a great car that the way that it was built, the motor was made to last. And I'm looking at all these cars to buy, and I'm thinking like, some of these cars are like fucking 2015, 2016, and they're on the internet for like fucking $4,000. How did that vehicle depreciate that much, right? So, like, I mean, you gotta, like, I would rather take something that's been around for a while, okay? And, like, I've only driven cars that have been literally 10 to 15 years old because I want everything that is gonna go wrong with them to go wrong before I get it, right? Because, not that I deserve smooth sailing or I expect it, it's just I don't want all those manufacturer defects to happen while I have it. I want those stupid things that happen that go wrong, okay, because people are put together wrong, just like cars are put together wrong, right? And I need that vehicle to see a good mechanic for 10 years. And that good mechanic is going to re-put that car back together before I get it. And that's the thing, is like, that's the great part of life and getting older, is that if you stay single, then you're just getting older through age, right? You're like a fine wine. You're just going to keep getting better and more honest and more independent and more wonderful all on your own, right? Because nobody can tweak you and change you and all this shit, right? Saying that you have to be this way or that way. You just come out the way that you are, right? And that's kind of maybe what I'm feeling about this guy. Like, you know, just because he's an emperor doesn't mean that. It's just emperor status. Could be female. Okay, it doesn't matter. But really what it's saying is, like, when you leave something and it just gets to figure its quirks out, you know, it goes to the hospital a few times and, you know, maybe goes to the psych ward a few times, maybe it gets shot a couple times, you know, and it gets fixed. And then they get shot again and then they get fixed. And those times where this person gets fixed, right? Like a car would, or a winery would tweak a wine or fix a barrel, right? It gets better. And it's not people, you know, people in their 20s and in their teens, man, they jump to the finish line because they're the ones that, unfortunately, and I'm going to say this, I might piss somebody off, but, you know, it's seeing pussy for the first time in the history of pussy ever. And they can't get enough. And it's like, okay, you're just going to keep eating until you explode. And that's what entitlement and these little bitches does. Like, they don't want to work anymore. All they want to do is make money. And that's a lot with relationships. They don't want to try anymore. They just want somebody at home, right? They just want somebody waiting for them. And they want to make the cheddar. And they want that bitch at home fucking pumping them out, baby, so then they'll never go anywhere. What they don't realize is that that's not a life. Right? Oh, you're going to go and you're going to get your freak on while you go and travel for work and leave a wife at home with your kids? Like, that's disgusting. Clearly, this person, they might be a little rough on the edges, but they're rough on the edges and they're fucking sweet as pie to be with. Right? Because that's the thing, is it doesn't look like the trimmed up bud, but when you smoke it, it's going to fuck you up in the best way possible. Right? That was a nice little journey. Wow, I love when those happen. I feel like I just went to Switzerland or Scotland or something. Maybe that's another thing with this. You know, I'm getting all this green, and like, you think about it, it's very green there, you know, like all it does is rain in Ireland. It's just like rain, rain, rain. And it's just where they're from. They can't really do anything about it, right? It's an island. And this soul, you know, they might be very green because it rains a lot, which means they allow their emotions to show. They allow people to see what they are. They don't hide anything. Emotions are there to be shown. They're there to be expressed. They're not there to be hidden and made fun of or tampered with or, you know, dug away, right? Like, you shouldn't really, like, I hope that you're not embarrassed to show your emotions. Why would you be, you know? Like, I don't know, this person, I feel all of a sudden very light. I mean, I just did sit and blaze, so like, I got really high. But now this sense of like calmness just kind of like came over my body. And a sativa will do that. It will calm your body, but yet excite you and bring you love and joy and all the places that you have no idea you're lacking it in. Okay, so the Queen of Bongs, yes, she's loving and adoring and she's got friends everywhere and she's got abundance everywhere, but it doesn't mean that she has, you know, she's still missing pieces in her life like anybody else is. Right? So I think that her smoking the sativa is going to change. Like, maybe she's used to having to be really mellow and this person is going to not really be mellow, but yet they're calm. But it doesn't mean that they don't have a lot of energy. They just might not express themselves the way that you do because you're different, right? You might wear your heart on your sleeve, whereas they look rough, and you've got to smoke them in order for them to show you who they really are, right? And I just noticed, which obviously these cards wanted me to notice, look at the colors. A girl and a boy. Isn't that so cute too? Like, this is definitely masculine and feminine energy, whether or not you switch it, turn it, flip it, whatever, it doesn't matter. The energies they are balancing each other so nicely. And that's what I can't help but take notice to, is how nicely balanced they are. And you guys might not even have met yet. So, yo, can I say I told so? Really? The Empress and the Emperor? And look at, you're not even finally pricked and prodded when you look at how the same you are with these little buds sticking out. You know, like this guy's got hairs, which kind of makes me seem like he might have a beard or like facial hair or something like that. You don't have that. But you do have, you know, possibly leg hair or bush hair or armpit hair or frizzy hair, something like that. Okay. Let's just say you're not hairless. Okay. And it's like, wow, I told you. I knew it. I knew this Queen of Bongs was for this Emperor. Oh, and look at that. That card was flipped. I don't know when it flipped, but that's the Seven of Buds. And how cute is that? So the Seven of Buds is the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is about growth. Growth. Look at those buds. It's almost ready, right? It's just sitting. This is the point where, and maybe this is how this relationship is going to go, is it's going to get to a point where I think it grows at a very healthy rate, and when it has to stop and absorb the sun, it does, right? And that's how great I think this relationship is going to be. Oh my gosh, look at that. Justice just stepped in. And those are the scales, baby. So this is going to be a very even relationship, okay, where both people are going to do the same amount of work as the other person. All right, and then you got your medical marijuana certificate. So what this is about is it's kind of about standing up for what you believe in. It's the Nine of Wands, right? And it's about when you get your medical license, then it's almost like you have your pass to start talking about it, right? And defending it. So when people are like, you're smoking weed, I can smell that. You can take your card out and be like, this is my card, bitch. I'm allowed to do this. Educate yourself, right? This is something that helps people. People could look at you and be like, look at you. You guys think you're so awesome. And you're going to grab that Emperor's hand. You're going to be like, this is my fucking boyfriend. This is my husband. Back off, bitch. Get your own sandwich. Right? Like it's like you two are going to defend one another, and it's not defending one another as assholes and walking around with picket signs saying if you don't believe in Taylor and Matthew, then you're an asshole. It's not like that, okay? It's like, yo, you talk about my homie, you're going to get smacked. Right? It's like that. It's like, ooh, you better watch yourself. There's nothing worse than going into battle with two people that actually care about one another, because they will rip your asshole off. right? When two people strongly believe in each other, it's like mama wolf with a cub. You know, it's like it's like a bear with, with their baby. Like, it's like, don't fuck around with people who care about each other, because they'll fucking stomp you into the ground. And that's something to believe in. That's where, it's this is, I think, going to be a very strong relationship. And maybe that's why justice is here. Looking on the bottom of the deck was a 4 of Wands. So I also think marriage. Do these people get married? Oh, 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Buds. You know how I just saw this was like under lock and key. Like, when you've got the best stash in the world, you just let anybody take it? No. You put it in a lock and key. You put it in a safe. You put it somewhere. You lock it away so that you don't smoke it up. You cherish it. You smoke it one piece at a time, and so nobody steals it, right? Ooh, the Fool. So this is about buying your very first baggie and kind of walking away and being like, are the cops going to get me? Are the cops going to get me? Am I going to get pulled over? Oh my God, I got it in my car. Oh my God, I just want to get home. What if there's a hole in it? What if there's weed all over my glove compartment? Oh my God, it's like, but at the same time, you're like, once you get home, you're like, oh my God, I made it. You get the weed out of your car, you go and smoke it, then you're like, oh, it's good. So it's like, I almost feel like jumping off might be a little like, a little knuckle, like a little white knuckle, like a little, like I'm getting chills. Like, you don't really know exactly how it's going to go. And that's the thing, is like, you might meet somebody and you might see them 2 or 3 times or something, and then you go and make your move and you're like, oh my God, like, is this going to work or not? And that's the thing, is dun 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 dun. After the Fool comes the 6 of Pentacles. Dun 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 dun. Balance. Right? That's you guys coming together. Right? Like, absolutely, you stand alone but together because you're one. You're just different. But that's unity. Right? That's and oh my gosh, look at that, the 10 of Joints. Okay, the 10 of Wands. It's like what you create together, okay? This is something that you guys have been kind of like almost dreaming about, right? And it's kind of like you might not have been in the best types of situations, and you only kind of thought about situations from the past. This person might remind you of the past. It might remind you of, some type of choice that maybe you had to make in the past, of which road to go down, and how daydreaming doesn't really get you anywhere. But at the same time, I do feel like this person might be somebody that you have dreamt about, right? That you have thought about before. You just didn't think it was going to come to fruition or come to 3D, because that's the thing, is like, visions come and visions go, and not all visions are for us. Some visions are for other people. Like, I have visions for the channel, right? Like, it's not all about me, and like, that's mission, is it's not just always about you. Sometimes it is about other people, right? So I do feel like if this is kind of happening for you, you might have been down this road before where you went like, oh my God, is this gonna be able to hold the test of time? Like, am I gonna make the right decision on this? Like, is jumping off the bridge and going steady what I'm supposed to do with this person? And it's like, I think you realize pretty quick why somebody wants to lock you down, right? And it's not to lock you down because they're lazy and they just, want to find somebody. This is 2 people coming together that stand together, and they want to lock you down because it makes sense to them. If that makes sense to you. 2 of Joints, Hierophant. Oh my gosh. I really do feel like there is a commitment ceremony here. I do see marriage, like I said, numerous times, but I also feel like 2 people, they might not be so let's get married and have a bunch of people around. Like, I do see City Hall. I do see two people just kind of like signing a contract and being like, all right, we're fucking married. Like not everybody likes the show. Okay, that a wedding does. Okay, a wedding, let's be honest, it's an event. It's no longer a personal bonding ceremony. It's a show, an event, a fucking circus half the time, okay? And everybody's there for the wrong reasons and everybody's wasted and it's just awful, right? It goes from something so personal and so beautiful to something so objected and so exposed, right? And then I watched this lady who just got left at the altar and then they made this huge video about her to make her feel better. And I'm just like, like what if, like, you don't need to put that up. Like, why did everybody take so many pictures? Why? That's the shit that happens. Like, you put all this money, you put all this effort into something and really, like, it's, I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Not everybody does it the same way. Okay? Not everybody does it the same way. So this is like choosing a direction and jumping down something, and it's like signing up for something instantly and being like, that's just what I believe in. Right? This is something that you believe in. It's something that you've dreamt about, and it's something that grows, and it's something that works. And when you've got something good, lock it down. I mean, there's double 3, there's double 4, triple 4. There's like absolutely, honest to God, beautiful energy with this. So I am so happy I brought this reading in. I really feel like two people are about to come together, and that's what these cards are about. Bringing people together, doing lovely, beautiful, bright, sunshiny day readings, right? Like, everything is so gloomy on this channel, and I feel like that is okay, that some things are not the best readings, but when we can get a nice reading in, it also is nice, right? And look what came popping out. The Knight of Wands, right? It's like a beautiful offer, a beautiful night. And that's the thing, is you might really find this person fucking stunning. Number 1 stunner, I just heard, okay? And you're like, okay, this has happened to me before where I've had some smoking ass dude in my bed and regretted that in the morning. But I mean, they're only smoking hot to you. Doesn't mean they're smoking hot to everybody else. Right? So think of it that way too. And like, looks like sometimes you just get that spark because it sparks the relationship. And at least if you feel that way about each other, it might last forever. Why are these cards not shuffling? They just do not want to be shuffled for whatever reason. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is the Pop Tarot. I am Whitney Moon. If you'd like a personal reading, you can email me, whitneymoonshine@gmail.com. And if not, just enjoy the channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting and doing all the wonderful things that you do. I love doing what I do, so thank you for being a part of it. And adios, amigos and amigas. Whitney Moon. Peace.